Well, the Ministers of Finance, Economic Development and Trade are expected to meet today. They're set to discuss interventions that will encourage faster economic growth in the country. The outcome of this meeting will form the basis of an economic policy proposal, which will be submitted to Cabinet for its consideration in the new year. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos was tracking that story. She's joining us live now. Heidi, we're just talking about consumer spending. We're talking about the pressure on consumers heading into the new year. This meeting today, can we have any hopes that it will bring some relief in 2019?
So, Michelle, what I think is extremely important from this meeting is the fact that Finance Minister Tito Mboweni, together with other key government departments as well as the private sector and other stakeholders, will be discussing policy proposals to boost economic growth. We do know that the country has just come out of recession. However, our economic growth trajectory is not looking good. We are expected to grow between 0.5% to 0.8% in the year of 2018. And this is below par, given the fact that the National Development Plan expects the country to grow by 5.4%. So we really are nowhere close. And economic growth is extremely important to put a significant dent in our high unemployment rate, to decrease inequality and poverty in the country, and to just, make a better environment for consumers and South Africans. And today's meeting will really look into that and tap into that to bring, new and fresh ideas to policy proposals that will be presented to Cabinet to try and ensure that we boost economic growth and that, we don't fall into recession again, given the fact that we experienced that this year. Tito Mboweni, Finance Minister, Economic Development, as well as Trade and Industry, will be in this meeting today, as well as two professors from Harvard University, to present these fresh ideas. And they've actually labelled it as a stress test to these proposals to see whether or not it will bring the much needed economic growth and boost that this country needs.
Yeah, we know how important those numbers are just in terms of trying to get to the employment rate that we need for the country, Heidi. But in terms of consumer relief, one of the things that I'd like to know, whether it's on the cards, is whether the VAT rate, there's any chance of it going back to its previous rate.
So we saw the VAT rate going up this year because that was one of the things that government needed to do to bring in the much needed money, given the fact that there is such a massive, hole in our fiscus. And I think that, consumers have seen some sort of relief in the last month or so, where we saw our petrol price coming down and we have been taken out of recession. But it will be very interesting to see what the Finance Minister and, these very important government departments speak about and how they are going to ensure that consumers aren't further burdened and aren't put further strain, given the fact that we've experienced so much strain over the last couple of months. It's been a rough couple of years, and recently we saw the VAT hike putting a lot of strain on consumers, and already as we have it, very high unemployment rates, poverty levels extremely bad, inequality extremely bad. So I think they really have a tough challenge ahead, given the fact that they need to dealing with economic growth and getting to that 5.4% or just over the 1% growth that we need, and ensuring that consumers aren't further burdened, given the fact that we've experienced extreme challenges over the last couple of months.
So Heidi, the Ministers of Finance, Economic Development and Trade, they're meeting today. Given the extent of the challenges in the country, is it a one-day meeting? How long until we see some of the outcomes there?
So the meeting is only open to the media for an hour, so it will be from 8:30 until 9:30, where the Finance Minister Tito Mboweni, together with other ministers and these two professors from Harvard University, will be speaking to us about what they propose and how they want to put forward these policy proposals that they will then take to Cabinet. And then the meeting will be closed off and they will be speaking and deliberating the whole day, and then they will present this to Cabinet probably next year, given the fact that it is about 3 days to Christmas. So I think they will be presenting this to Cabinet next year. year, but it will be a lengthy meeting given the fact that they need to discuss these key policies, and that doesn't happen in a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. They will need time to stress test this and identify key proposals to boost economic growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks very much for that story. You'll keep us up to date on it as it develops. Heidi Giokos reporting live for us there.